Here's the thing is you can have sex after, right? But we have to have some limit in which it's like we're just going to be exploring what we like. If we say that we're going to explore it and then when we get turned on, we're going to have sex, well, that's a real short session if it works, right? If not, then what we get is sort of one, the tension building, right? The foreplay. On average, they say that you should have 20 minutes of foreplay before you have penetrative sex, right? That's how long it would take most women to get wet. So
It
20
takes
minutes
20 minutes for women to get wet.
to get wet and ready, I should say, right? So that means that like that swollen, ready to receive.
So they don't really got that wop, really.
It's not having it or not. It's somebody helping you get there or not. You know what I mean? Like, and that's really a lot of the issue is that people think it's like a natural state. And as you get older, it's not.
We
right?
know.
You're not getting turned on by a wind blowing by your little thingy anymore. Right now, you're a grown person with experiences and porn under your belt, and you're like, oh, that little thing I was looking at when I was 16 don't do it no more the way it used to. You know, we
What about
changed.
27?
And at 27, same thing. Now, I guess the hard thing is that as women get older, their sex drive is going to go up. As men get older, theirs is going to go down.
Yeah.
And so these conversations actually need to keep happening over the course of any relationship. And it might seem like right now the benefit is to the woman's benefit, right? But later it might be to the man's. If he can't keep an erection and I keep going, well, let's just do it. It might be nice to have an hour where we're not thinking about whether or not you can stay hard, to be honest. So it's just something to use.
But that's what I'm trying to ask. Again, the first thing that I'm thinking about, and I know you're an expert, and you know, you shut it down last time we came here, so we always appreciate you. So I need you to really walk us through this. You mostly concentrated on the woman, like her map of her body. What happened to the dude? Are you mapping my body?
So you are imagining this as a man mapping a woman's body. I guess
that's
because
the only
I'm a
thing I
woman and
see.
so I'm talking about myself. One of the rules of pleasure mapping is take turns. So if you're not reciprocating, this is not the right activity for you, right? Like if you're like, I want to know about my pleasure, but you have to just do it. Like, what is that? That's like some sub-dom sort of stuff, some BDSM
That's where my
dynamics,
brain's at.
right?
But is there a pleasure mapping without the partner?
Yes.
So what does that look like for a man?
So if you were to, so I actually have like a recording of a sensual meditation that you can find online right now on the retreat website. One of the things that you do is you can either use an object, you could use your hand, you could go inside, outside, wherever you feel comfortable. And part of it is about one, just calming down and noticing what your body feels like to begin with. And then taking the time to actually sort of go through your body with touching, right? And see kind of where feels better for you and linger in some time in that space, right? Now, that...
What happens if he finds out he likes his feet touched?
That's what you like.
That's kind of crazy. Like,
you just learned a wonderful thing today.
yo, babe, grab my heel.
And because that's what I'm saying is there's actually a better chance if you find out what you like solo first and then bringing it to your partner later so that you don't feel judged, you know?
I like back rubs.
Well, I don't think you could solo.
I just know like when my back gets touched, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, and so it's a different experience,
like back
right?
of my neck too.
But for a lot of people, they wait for their partner to bring them pleasure. And this is even as something like, if I like sitting in the sun and with cool water on my feet, right? That's pleasure. It's not just about like the whole entire sexual experience of pleasure, but like, how much do you find pleasure in your work?
In your day-to-day.
In your day-to-day life. Like, is there passion in what you do? Do you show up with that kind of energy that is, and when they talk about like chakras, right? Like the sexual chakra is just creativity. Right? Like, how much are you creating? How much are you sort of making from passionate places? And that honestly kind of helps your sex life, to be honest with you. If you can get down out of your head, survival mode and sex mode should not be in the same place.
It makes sense. That's what he
was talking about, right? Survival mode versus like safety, basically, right? Like if I'm going to be like naked, like literally naked and opening my body up, that isn't really how I feel when I'm looking at my bills. You know, like I'm not like, oh, this really makes me feel comfortable. Like I just want to just get comfortable, take something off, relax. Like that's not what my body's doing when I'm looking at my bills.
Right. So it's a lot of like strippers and stuff like that in the wrong occupation.
I mean, not if they're
that's
comfortable.
Survival mode in sex.
But that's why a lot of people will tell you, even who are in sex work, that there's a difference between the sex they have with their partner and the work that they do. Right? Because one of those things feels different Like if I'm a porn star, I may not want to have my leg up on a motorcycle with like with the angles for everybody to
They might
see.
not, but like a porn star might not be in survival mode. I'm talking about survival mode. I'm talking about the girl who's like, I don't got nowhere to live, so I'm stripping right now and
And a lot of
having
those
sex.
people learn to check out of their body, aka dissociate, so that their body can be one place doing one thing and their mind can be somewhere else. Really. Like, and that's how a lot of us, I say us because I've also been able to do this in my own situations, right? And I've worked with people who it's innocent. It's not even a thing that they mean to do. Like their partner's grieving and they want to have sex because they're grieving. And the other person's like, I guess I don't want to say no. And so they keep doing it and they start checking out of their body. It's not like some extreme thing. It's just like if you're not doing it because you're comfortable, you're going to sort of risk putting your body in a place where it's like, oh, it's not safe to feel this. So just stop feeling. Our bodies are not stupid. If we don't want to feel something, we don't. And so if we have bad sex, it ruins sex kind of for us in the future if we can't get with somebody who values that we need to feel comfortable first.
I think that's traumatic sex more than bad sex.
State.
Yeah. But I mean,
That sounds sad.
but that's how a lot of, what's weird is that a lot of people in the
I
most,
think I need a shot.
a lot of people who are in the most exciting places, that's
Shot,
really how
shots?
they living.
Shot,
Yes.
shot, 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 shot.
I went
Shot, you doing a shot
like,
with
Was
us?
this like grieving?
Not
and
whiskey,
That's
but
tequila.
okay, I was gonna say, me
Like,
and the
she already
tequila.
told us what her.
I said, look, we
her drink
got this
is.
over early.
Oh, wait. Since this, I actually meant to ask you this earlier. What is your like preferred tequila or your top 3 tequilas, like your go-tos?
I don't really know. I end up drinking a lot of Casamigos.
Okay. How do you like recommend like when you have
The
sessions?
whiskey.
Wait, Rico, what are you doing? We're about to take it.
Hold on.
Marie and Lonnie want a whiskey shot.
Okay, I'll bring it to you guys. Go ahead. Aaron.
Okay. So, geez, sorry.
It's all right.
So how do you recommend people like have these, I won't say difficult, but these uncomfortable conversations about, and I honestly, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's more difficult for women to have the conversations.
It kind of depends. I mean, it's interesting because men can be very boxed in. So if there's something untraditional or unexpected, I've had a lot of therapy sessions where people will be like, I haven't told her yet, and it'll be like weeks and weeks of us.
told her yet.
Like I'm sitting on this one until she's ready to hear it, right? Like there's a lot of people worried about reactivity,
Right.
but that's a separate thing. But I think
Damn.
the real truth is that the easiest way to address most things is in the moment. Like, let's not make a long speech about it later. Let's not write a long email later. Like, if something comes up and it's not comfortable, if something comes up and it triggers you, say it then, right? Like, if you say it way later, then sometimes it can create sort of a weird, like, how am I going to reopen this conversation?
It happened so long ago now. Now
Yeah,
you
but
just
sometimes-
waiting and
I mean,
waiting.
it's better
and
late
like,
than never, because you don't want somebody to not understand what happened.
if too much time is going by, I ain't saying shit.
Nah, the thing is, like, sometimes you
notebook.
really don't know until you sit down and think about it. Like,
No, that's fair.
hold on.
That's
time out.
fair. But at the same time, I think like there's a difference between saying, hey, I know what this means,
Yeah.
and saying I can tell that something is off. Right. And so like that's why I'm saying I do body-based work. Your body knows right away. Your body knows before you do what it is that's going on. And I've messed myself up sometimes and said words and been like, you just said words, but that wasn't what was really going on for you. You're just being defensive, right? Then later you think about it and you're like,
Dang, I was wrong.
this was about something totally different. So now I got to go back and,
Fix it.
tell the truth
Yeah.
instead of saying the thing I said before. But I mean, I it's uncomfortable, but I be going back.
I
Yeah.
told you the
about
first
when
time I got
women-
slapped during sex, I was like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you?
Slapped in a good way or slapped because something was wrong?
No, like she was riding me.
Those choking and
No. It was
I
did
during
both
sex.
before.
And I was trying to
You should
figure
say
out.
that was her thing.
No, because first of all, I told her, like, yo, listen, don't ever do that again. Right? But
Right away.
But no, it wasn't right away.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was like probably like we finished, whatever, like, like maybe like an hour later, I was sitting in the bathroom, I'm like, yo, she just slapped the shit out of me. Like, yo, I'm
Still
like,
feeling it on your
I'm
face.
like,
Your
yo,
face was
like-
still hot.
You feel some kind of way.
she really think she can slap you? Like,
That be happening to me.
I don't
Somebody
give a fuck what you riding, bitch. Like, you don't ever put your hands
later
on
like,
me.
yo, did somebody
Like,
grab
I
me?
had to talk myself. Like, I was like, yo, listen, can I talk
Calm
to you for a
down.
second?
Yeah, that's a big no.
Yo,
That's a
don't
big
ever
no.
hit me like that. You could probably punch me in my chest. I'll rock with that. Don't slap my face. That's different.
Yeah.
For me, that's different.
That's extreme.
But I ain't gonna lie. It happened again. I kind of like.
See? all of a sudden.
But it was a way more gentle
Different
slap.
person or the same person?
Same person, but it was
She did it twice after you told her don't?
she's a Gemini. Y'all don't listen. Like,
I
First of
listen.
all, now she knows who it is.
You gotta. It's a slap, grab, kiss. Like it can't just be slap and leave it.
it was
alone.
more
It's
so.
like
The second time wasn't more so a slap.
She
it was
did something.
It was a mush.
First of all, you did something
it was more of a mush. I
that
was like,
she
"Ah,
knew
you pushed
about.
me, like, get
but
off.
she didn't want to bring it up, so she slapped you.
Oh, it was not even it was a pure
We
pleasure.
just added. That's what she does. She just adds
Added
She
context.
just be adding shit. She wasn't even.
No, I didn't. No, hold on.
She wasn't there at all. like-
Because I did that one time. I was
All right,
I was
so you're
slapping the-
projecting. It's like, there we go.
Can we talk about
I
like
mean, I am a Gemini.
Like, wait, we're gonna
There was a
take our
tongue
shot,
that was, like, a little
and then
crazy.
we'll.
You want to do the
Yeah, we're
gonna do the shot.
to pleasure. Actually, you can make the cheers.
Me?
To Colombia,
No,
both of them.
That's true. You'll see.
Oh.
Don't be funny. Don't be funny.
I'm not even being
Don't be
funny.
funny.
No, we are
I'm
taking
talking
a
to my
shot
girl.
to Gemini season.
Oh.
Period.
Right? It is Gemini season.
It is.
Yeah, pleasure. Like the Gemini's
I
like.
don't want to clink.
Yeah, clank, 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 clank.
Clink, 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 clink. Happy June 1st, y'all. It's Gemini season, period.
Sounds so smooth.
Ooh.
How the hell that goes down smooth? You drank half of it.
I'm hanging on.
You're on the mic.
Oh, I don't know.
Ooh, that
I don't
Blanco,
know what it's gonna
uh.
be.
So there's actually, thanks to Aaron, there's a company that I had a conversation with. They make tequilas.
Thanks to
Is
me.
it the
Thanks to you
100%
for
agave
this.
one?
So when they showed me
Oh.
this bottle, I was like, "This is pretty cool. Like, I like how you designed it." I'm like, "Is this 100% agave?" He said, "Oh, it says it right there." I was like, "Why? Why?"
confirmation? So the
Let me try
brown
this
one is
shit.
100%. That's the white one's not 100%.
No, it is. Well, I don't know what it. I mean, I imagine, but like that is typically what like the non 100% agave is like all these additives and like colors. Like, say for instance, Jose Cuervo. Like Cuervo, like
That's a hood drink
it's brown not because it's been aged. It's like brown because an
You
additive.
die?
because it's a hood drink.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So,
So- should I be
now
drinking it?
let's
What
talk about
1800?
let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about
Is it?
ignorance. I mean, real ignorance, right? And I'm just gonna. This is 8 at the table, so I got to go with it. And
Yeah.
yo,
You got to be ignorant.
if you have to, no. Ignorance is us teaching people
No,
not to be
I'm-
ignorant, right? But in a sense like this, right? If you're over 30 and you can't fuck,
Can't.
like, cannot.
As a guy or girl or both?
Both.
Damn.
Like, I would imagine if I'm 32 years old and I'm getting on top of a woman who's 23, 24, 25, 26 years old, and I can't fuck, she probably like, yo, there's no hope for you.
She don't know better.
I'm not, it's
Yeah.
ignorant.
23.
Yeah, probably.
That's that.
That's
right.
why he's
that's
30
the
years
right
old and he
age.
can't fuck.
Somebody who doesn't
Right?
know what they
But-
do.
fucking
But
little
at the
girl.
same time, we could even change it. You both 35 and y'all get together and you both can't fuck or one person can't fuck. It's almost like we live in a society that is so unforgiving for the lack of skills
It's true.
after a certain place, right? Like when I was younger, let's say I made a new friend that when I was 30, I made a new friend, my friend's 30, and we get into a brawl at the bar. I'm squared up. Let's say he can't fight. I'm like, damn, man, at that age, you can't fight?
Not at that age. I feel like what are we talking about here? Like
I feel
I
like
think that
I
it
feel
has
like our
everything to
society
do with experience. If you are 30 anything and you can't fuck, I'm just going to assume, and maybe it is the truth and your experience that you just not fucked a lot in your lifetime.
No. You fucked, but you just gave out a whole bunch
First of all,
of
that's
bad dick.
cap. Because that's the same dude that's
Whole
talking
bunch.
crazy to you. Telling you he's gonna knock your walls down
Thank
because
you.
he's been fucking
Honestly,
21-year-olds.
thank
It's
you.
happened.
And
It's
now
happened.
he's 32 thinking he could fuck. No. See, for me, I'll be more
You think
forgi-
that's a guy who's been lied to, is what you're saying?
No. He was usually.
Yeah, no. That's what you're saying. No,
I don't think there was even a response. She don't even. She's 21. She don't really even know what she like yet.
That's true.
Like she don't even know her own body.
So she performing.
She's there.
She's
She's not even
there.
performing.
So,
She's
but,
present.
so was it just
She-
her not knowing what she liked, or was it him not knowing how to give?
Well, I
It
mean,
was
maybe
both.
both.
because
yeah.
that's the reason why he can't give now, right? Because
Because he's
he
not
never had the
fucking-
criticism.
Okay, he's
or
not
the
fucking
lessons.
anybody of Not I don't know.
Who has,
who
who has
has
good previous experience?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or knowledge of their own body,
Yeah,
right?
that.
So like, to be honest, in my personal opinion, I would say a girl who's 30 or 30, let's just use the word 30 number. If a girl was 30 and she can't fuck, I'd be forgiving. But as a 30-year-old man and I can't fuck, it's unforgivable. Like it's way, like I'll be like, yo, you know what? It's cool. I'll teach you, right? To a certain extent. Now, if you're a pillow princess and not willing, that's a whole different ball game. Like with insecurities, that's a different ball game. But I'm just talking about you just have the lack of skill. I'm more so inclined to try to teach you, right, what I like, than if I was a 30-year-old man coming into the life of a 30-year-old woman and I don't have any skill at all. I'm talking about I can't
You
eat
don't know how
the
to move
box,
your
right?
waist.
I can't even
Can't
stroke.
eat,
Like
can't
I can't.
stroke.
She might be like, pack him up, pack Rico up, and I'm about to go ahead and comment on 8 at the table and tell everybody that he's capping. Cause a lot of dudes that
gonna
can't
go look in the
fuck think that they can.
Let's see.
So educated.
They would've been there
what
already.
I'm saying is like I feel like in our like I won't say community, but we're very humans. Forget community, really, but humans are very unforgiving.
Mm.
Because
Well, I mean, it's.
I don't. So, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It's just like
say
a
what you think,
woman.
Aaron.
No,
It's
listen.
35. You can't give
no,
head.
I don't
Like, what are
listen.
you
I don't
doing
think
with your
that's
life?
fair because
With your whole life.
What can't give head is
Not that this is what life is about.
That's what I went to school for.
But good head is a skill. Good head. I will say
it's also a requirement for most.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but in order for it to be good, it's a skill. But that's not the point I was trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that men are allowed to have multiple experiences to build a skill set, whereas women are not encouraged to have these experiences to have the skill set. You understand what I'm saying? So if a woman is shamed or you can't be having sex with this many guys, like just like you said, you were told to stay away from guys. Like, how are you expected to have had these experiences to build a skill set?
I
You
don't
think
think it's a
anybody's gonna
quantity
give you a
thing.
thumbs
can't-
up for knowing how to suck
Right.
dick? No, they're gonna say you a hoe.
Now, to be honest, and look, because this goes right back to what she said, and I agree. If a girl was to fuck me too good,
And that's the problem.
Not too good. Now we got a line.
not good, but
We got a
this is-
line between skilled and too good.
Now you
we
gotta
have
mess
skill-
up a little bit.
Wait.
Now you got to
First of
fuck
all-
it up. You got to be my teeth.
Now we have skilled, good, and too good. The too good makes you be like, what the hell have you been doing, right? Because just like you said, you have a friend who will fuck
Fucking
you
duh.
good, but she's not loyal and she would cheat on you. So like when you have those girls who will fuck you good, sometimes you be thinking like she might have had either a lot of experiences or she had a dude that was a couple of them that was OD experienced, right?
Put on to game.
Now, here's the crazy thing. For a man, because men are programmed to be the dominant ones in the bedroom, but now you're coming in with the lack of knowledge and the lack of skill, especially with the skilled woman, which to us inclines us to believe that she already had a skilled man prior to you, you're already feeling less than. So that's why I'm saying, like, for a dude to be 30 and not performing or be of some type of skill set when it comes to sex is so much more detrimental than if a woman came in and she don't know how to suck dick. I'm like, thank God. Because you know what? That means she didn't have a lot of dicks that she was sucking. That's just how I think.
That's an insecure man.
Maybe she just can't suck
You
dick.
don't
No,
want a
but that's
woman.
like a 3-month process. We have to
But
unpack
that's such a
that.
conflicting message, right? Because
Because I
that's
want y'all to learn on the job.
but that's the fantasy, right? Is
You're
that
right.
you're not a freak when you came in, you're a freak because of me. That I made you a freak, and now
Exactly.
now you know all these things because I inspired.
That's a little bit
you
of
to be this
insecurity.
person.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's not insecurity.
It
It's
is,
easy talk.
It's called
because-
safety.
But the reason why I'm asking you this question, and honestly, it's a real question because it has real life consequences after it. I've been in a situation with friends where they're like, "Yo," I'm like, "Bro, she just got a good pussy and she knows how to fuck, and she's fucking your head up, bro. You need to leave that shit alone. She's not a good person. She's not a good woman. She's not a good person. Nah, you don't understand. I love her. You might kill yourself.
First
You
of
might-
all,
you
a
might hurt
friend
yourself.
telling me all of this. Mind your business.
What?
Oh, you mean on the side
told
of his
they
you?
don't listen.
No,
Yeah,
he
they
said
don't
he said if his
If
friend
his friend was
like
coming-
you the friend saying all of that. Why you
Bro,
saying all of that?
shut-
Mind your
Geminis
business.
don't listen.
No.
They don't listen to
You
So-
saying a
the
lot.
ones that know him most. They
So
won't
I'm
listen.
saying that to say that I'm connecting the two.
that like some
to-
people feel like there's a bond because they're skilled.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that we have to also understand when it comes to sex, there are people that are just good at sex. Some people are good people that are good at sex, and some people are not good people that are good at sex. So I was trying to move away the ignorance that if I was single and I met a woman and she was 30 years old and she was bad in bed, I shouldn't assume she's a bad person because this is the first connection I might have.
Well, sure. And I mean, the truth is that people who are having better sex oftentimes have just had longer relationships and not more of them. So, like, even if you're saying you have really good sex because you've got more experience, usually it's because you've been comfortable in that experience. If I have
Absolutely.
60 different people, I don't mean I'm having great experiences because I've had 60 different experiences. I could be really uncomfortable 60 different ways, right? But married couples tend to report more satisfying sex than single people. Right. So even though people are like meeting and hooking up and there's this exciting nature to it, while we get to know each other, now all of a sudden I know exactly what you like and exactly how you like it. That's a very different sexual experience. And a lot of us take for granted that that doesn't come from a past experience. That comes from your present experience. So you got to ask, got to communicate, right? And people who are bad at communicating what they like tend to be bad at sex. And so the dominant person in the bedroom is oftentimes whoever's more comfortable saying what they actually want to do.
Viral.
And I agree with that.
Oh, Aaron. You said that last
And I agree with that because the funny thing about it, when I was younger, if I spoke to a girl and she told me her last relationship was 3 years, I know she's gonna be good in bed.
Yeah, we done played around with some
always
things.
not
if
true.
we-
What?
Well, I guess okay.
That's
So
that.
for me,
Tell me,
Hell no.
tell me what you
No,
thinking,
so for
Amanda.
As
me-
long as more than 3 years, I know she was always gonna be good in bed.
I guess
If I
this
spoke
is
to a girl
only
and said, I've never been in a
because-
long-term relationship, it's not gonna be good.
I guess
20 to
this is
23?
because I
Wait, so
lost
Alan-
my virginity to the person that I was with for 3 years. So
Mm.
I was having that same kind of sex for 3 years.
Garbage.
It wasn't until I got out of that relationship that I realized sex can be so much better than what the
that's a
fuck I
pretty
was
common
doing
thing,
for
sure.
3 years.
That's
Yeah.
because
So that
like,
does
20
not
to
mean
23
I
is
know
trash.
so much because I was in a 3-year relationship. I was doing the same thing for 3 years.
Maybe I should say
Huh.
it this way then. I always felt that you spent 3 years with somebody or more. You guys seen each other naked. You've got comfortable being naked with somebody. You've touched each other in certain way. There's so much experience that happened in that 3 years sexually. You got to figure after 3 months you started having sex, three or so months. So for 27 months or so, or whatever the timeline is, I know you experience things with each other. Do you see what I'm saying? Like if something was wrong with her cool, she's like, "Oh, I don't this," and then he's looking at it like, "What's that?" You know, or
Alan,
they
Yeah,
had.
but comfortability does not transfer to people.
Alan, that is
So,
like,
like-
the worst theory I've heard in a while.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Remember, Alan, remember when we talked about bad advice?
I was like, wait, what are we getting into?
What I'm saying is, you spent enough time with somebody that me being naked with you and opening you up more is not gonna be something like, "Oh my god."
There are so many other variables that need to be considered about the individual beyond just the sex and to why you were
So
in
give
a
'em.
3-year relationship.
True.
It is just such a small piece of the whole dynamic of a relationship.
It's
that
really
pre-
not a small piece, Marie.
Okay, bro.
Yes, it
Because
depends on the relationship.
Most people will. All right.
But
Okay.
the
Here
thing is, some
on the
people are
couch.
just comfortable. See, like some women are just comfortable being naked regardless.
Yeah, but Rico, I'm gonna ask you, everybody here right now, honestly, on a scale to 1 to 100, 1 to 100,
That's
and
a
we've
big
asked this
scale.
100
Can you
a
do
bunch
1
of
to
times.
10?
How? No, one. All right, 1 to 10. How
No
important
sevens
is
allowed.
how important is sex to you, Aaron?
That's my favorite.
1 to 10.
Mm.
On a scale to 1 to 10, how important is sex to you?
Like in my
relationship,
marriage or
No,
in
just
life?
sex period in life, as a person, as a human being.
Since sevens aren't allowed, 8.
8.
You're at an 8. Chantel,
probably like a 6.
you're at a 6. Rico, Rico,
I don't know, but my bills are
It's
more
a 10.
important
It's a
than
10.
sex.
It's a 10. Move
My
on.
life,
in your life.
Your
How important is
whole
it to you in
life.
your life?
my whole life.
Yeah.
In your whole life.
Not whole hoe. Your whole life.
Like if I told you how important is it to go to the
He gonna
club
say,
tonight on a 1
11.
to 10?
A club is like a 4. Sex is like a 9. It's almost next to money.
So you're at a 9, right? Marie, 1 to 10, where you at?
9.
Lonnie, 1 to 10, where you at?
10. She's
10.
Dominican.
I knew.
You
Why do I know you?
I think it's important.
Where was she
Why do
at?
I know
Lonnie
you?
said 10.
Where was Lonnie at?
I said
Ten.
ten.
Said a 10.
So what happens is that this is
other
why
things that are
this is such
10
a
too.
perfect topic. Pleasure mapping is such a perfect topic. Is because for some reason we treat something that's really important like it's not important.
No, we don't.
No, we do in a sense. Just listen to what I'm saying to you.
We'll give an example.
Like
Yeah.
Marie
Listen,
just
no, we
said
don't.
that Marie just said sex is not the most important thing. It's not the most important thing, but it's a very important thing.
Okay, but you may have a bunch of
Depending, because
healthy
for her-
people
Not
here.
the one that just said 9.
No, because I have a healthy sexual appetite. I'm a healthy person. I don't have like these need for validation and other variables. I'm in tune with my body. I know what I like, and I like to have amazing sex.
She's a healthy girl.
This is a fact.
Somatic
So if someone is not,
I just-
there are other variables. I've done a lot of work to be where I'm at. There are people that aren't doing that work.
And that's what I'm trying to say to our audience. Do the work because it's something that's important.
True.
That's all we're here trying to tell you. Take your time to do the work because I've seen more people spend more time trying to make excuses and telling us it's not important. I'm like, instead of pretending that it's not important, why don't you get a skill?
Just prioritize it.
Wait, but Alan.
Yeah, make it important.
But
Stop
Alan,
pretending that it's not important because it is. I'm sorry, Aaron. I've been in a situation where people are like, yo, man, shorty, all she want to do is fuck. You, I don't care about that shit. I said, and then the next one, you and that's it. Because all you really got to do, bro, go take some classes. I don't know, read a book.
Alan got a mic now. He don't know how to act.
Wait,
No,
time out.
he is really
I'm out. Drop
using
mic.
it.
I'm out.
so this is the thing, and I think you actually make an excellent point, but I think what a lot of us are missing is the skill set to do what it takes to like, and not the skill set, but like a lot of people don't know to do
Where to start?
like what to do to get the skill set.
And I
Yeah.
think,
I'm not-
But then I think what we're doing is we're placing a lot of individual pressure. Like you got to come ready. Like you took
Yeah,
a class
yeah,
and you're ready
yeah.
to have the right sex that the class taught you about. But everybody's a little different. So really, the best lovers you'll have will be people who ask questions.
Mhm,
Right? Do you like this? How was that? Like things like that, so that they can learn you,
mhm.
not like a skill in general.
Yo,
Yeah,
No,
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's like, all right, guys, I'm
That
gonna
is
give it to you.
sexy as hell. You
That's-
asked me if I like
that-
that shit.
Like one of my things that I would say, like when I would talk to women, back,
Way back when you were single.
way back, I would always say
Last
like,
week.
I want to learn you, right? Like that was my thing. I want to learn you. And when the woman heard I want to learn them, they were inclined to open up and tell me a lot about them. And when I got them to that point, that's when I realized that they were, to some point, I realized that they were comfortable with me to share certain things with me. And then that's how we then segue the same comfortability on a regular conversation into the bedroom. And that's how I think you have good sex. See, the problem is good sex is so subjective because everybody's so different with different pleasures. So now the only way you can know is if you actually know how to unpack what that person likes. And that's what the real thing is. So instead of thinking that, hey, I'm going to be able to, perform because I had X amount of experience with X amount of partners, or I had this amount of experience with one partner, or, longevity experience with a certain amount of partners, you really just have to really focus on trying to figure out who and what you're dealing with before you actually lay with them.
Mhm.
And I think that's what people are missing. Because again, in the words of Alan, nobody wants to do the work. I don't really care enough to pause the movie that we're watching when you go to the bathroom. But yeah, I gotta figure out what
circle.
pleasures you. Like, you see what I'm saying?
No, 'cause I'm
See,
just
I did
saying,
right
like,
back
when
to
it comes to like, all right, look,
Hold on,
when
Alan.
it comes,
Alan, Unique Brooks.
People who
Hold
haven't
on,
watched
shout out
the
to Unique
other
Brooks.
episodes.
She says
forget.
Alan needs to just sit on the couch.
Unique just came back today.
Right.
She probably
Unique.
No.
Wait, time out.
No, Unique got chips. No.
Nah.
Unique
Unique's
got
been
chips.
MIA
we
for like.
appreciate it, but I
Hold
enjoy
up,
being a producer.
Unique's been hitting us with the super chats, and so she's just saying, Alan, maybe you need to sit on the
No,
couch.
no.
but
I enjoy being a
Unique hasn't
producer.
been here for a minute.
But
Listen,
Unique going hard for the show today, especially with these haters on here.
Ooh.
That's
Who they hating on today?
That's one hater. That's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
It's two.
We're not gonna entertain.
There's two.
no, but what I'm trying to say is like Rico said, right? Like if we're talking about money and financial literacy, right?
Right.
Aaron and I may have a conversation. Aaron be like, well, what kind of plan do you have, like retirement plan? Even though we're 40 years away, 30 years away, 20, it doesn't matter how many years away, we're talking, like, because that's some serious shit. You don't want to have to live with your kids when you're older. You don't want to have to be in a situation when your working years are behind you. So you take it as a serious thing. And that's what I was trying to say with sex. Like a lot of young men need to cut out porn. Like a lot of older men need to cut out sugar. It just
Same
is
thing.
what it is because you're going to end up being stuck and being mad at yourself.
So do women need to cut out vibrators?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, here's the
Makes-
thing is
makes sense.
moderation, y'all. We don't need to cut out.
What I
porn.
just said.
I said moderation at the
say.
beginning. I said moderation at the
You
beginning.
did.
You could moderate porn and you could moderate masturbation and you would still be good with sex.
Alright.
We don't need to be abstinent and then going hard and then going back
Yeah.
to celibacy. I feel like people be doing these extreme things these days.
It's like smoking squares and then just stopping the next day.
You're
you
right.
know?
Like what are we doing? Like
I'd be better
this
off.
is like crash dieting. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like
First of all, it's called
Absolutely.
cold turkey. And it's
Yeah,
perfectly
cold
fine.
turkey, yeah.
you could do it if you want to, but it's like what's your life gonna be?
But
Just
because
doing
you got to
this?
think about out of sight, out of mind. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Not
if-
out
Because
of
sex
body.
sex is never out of sight, nor out of mind.
I'm saying like the porn should be and the vibrator should be with the masturbation. Like I think that it is too much because, in my personal opinion, this world and life, especially here in America, is just teaching self-reliance, self-pleasure, and that's it. So now, if I'm going into the porn and I'm going into the masturbation, again, I'm relying on self. Again, I'm focusing on pleasuring myself without allowing somebody, and realistically, nobody's going to be able to know you better than you. So I'm already putting myself or put my climaxes at a threshold that most people are never gonna meet. The out of sight, out of mind. Lower that, take that out, throw that to the side,
That's
and just
actually-
rock out.
You don't have to do it like that though.
Like, and
You could masturbate with your partner there. You could have them do it to you. You could bring the vibrator into a partnered situation. You could bring the porn into a partnered situation.
Yes.
For me, my idea is a lot of people don't actually know their individual pleasure the way we think they do because they think sex is about another person. Really. And so people even will say things like, I know women who are like, I don't masturbate, I just have sex. I don't even know how.
Wait,
right?
don't know how to what?
Masturbate.
I've heard that. on
Right.
the
And
show a
so
few times.
and so when we're talking about masturbation, you're talking about your hand, right? Imagine a woman don't even know what her own vagina looked like. So how did she learn how to masturbate? And without a vibrator, how is she pleasuring herself?
But the crazy thing to me is like, all right, if I said people were on Earth for hundreds of thousands of years, okay? And TVs and vibrators are 150 years old. And you mean to tell me for hundreds of thousands of years that people had to rely on porn and vibrators? It's crazy to me. Now, masturbation, I agree. Knowing your body, touching your body, that's a whole different ball game. But there's something about your finger and a battery pack that will never equate. So like, I think that when you start to set the bar too high, it really leaves a dependency on something that you're never going to be able to experience without that.
I don't know. I mean, I would argue that
Do you
I
like vibrators?
that they're different
Are
experiences.
you a vibrator advocate?
I have a vibrator and I enjoy my vibrator.
Listen, I'm not gonna
But
lie.
it's a very different thing. For example, like I don't have a G-spot vibrator, right?
Okay.
Mine is just on my clitoris. That's all that it's doing, right? But there are different types of orgasms, right? And so I'm not having the same type of orgasm that I'm having when I'm having foreplay and somebody touching me and doing all sorts of stuff as I am when I'm masturbating. That's like a quick, that's like a cup of noodles. That's not a gourmet meal. Like, it's like, it's good. I kind of like it late night, but like, it's not really the same, as
It's not.
quality.
Wait, can I
it's
ask a
not the same-
question?
It's not
I
the
didn't
same
know that.
fulfilling quality
Yeah.
as you have if you really have like
There's like a
connected,
warm
fulfilling
body.
sex.
I want to flip the script
Yeah,
for a
there's
second. Right?
cuddles and shit.
Right
yeah.
before you flip it, Rico, you know what's so funny? I was gonna ask that because I seen a porn where a girl's watching a porn, and I realized girls when they watch porn,
when
she's playing with herself while she's watching porn, and it makes
In
her
the porn.
come quick.
very
Okay,
meta.
Very creative.
Yeah.
right?
Very meta.
She in a porn, watching porn.
But what I'm saying is like it's heavy stimulation, and you're saying it's not as satisfying as foreplay.
Well, no, I'm not saying as satisfying. I'm saying that it's not always a hierarchy like that, right? It's not the most strong sensation wins. That's like assuming that your vibrator is always on the highest setting. Like, it's not always actually. Like, that's why you got to ask
Never actually,
questions,
not
right?
me.
Nah, but
Because-
there's nothing that my body can do that can go.
No, you're not a vibrator, right? But if you're secure enough to
My body don't
so
have.
he
none of
knows
those-
the settings.
First of all, I use vibrators on girls. That's my thing. Like, you got a vibrator, I will use it on you. I'm not a. See, some guys don't
He's
want to
always
bring
said
it in,
that.
but I'll do it. But like, let me flip the script for a second. What if there was a vibrator like ring or something?
which there is.
There is.
Nah,
Guys, there is.
No, listen.
You have
Call it
never
Guac
seen-
Guac
Wait, no,
3000.
listen. If Geminis don't listen,
Oh my goodness.
if y'all listen, what if there was a
Attacking us.
vibrator ring that made a man orgasm faster, or some type of thing? Those vibrator rings don't make men orgasm faster.
Bro, there's a thing
That's
called
all.
Guac
But
Guac
do they have the
3000.
hot breath?
Men buy them.
No, listen.
Instead of jerking off, they put it on and they.
But that's not what I'm saying. Y'all not hearing me.
Is it warm?
Y'all not hearing me. The same way I can have sex with a girl and still use a vibrator on her. If I had a alternative that I can wear or put on,
Yeah.
right, while I have sex with the girl,
It's called
that-
a vibrating cock ring.
that's not going to make a man nut faster. Like,
It's not
He's
going
saying
to
it's
make
like a
you-
condom vibrator, basically.
or like it has
an add-on.
or an add-on. It doesn't have to be a vibrator. An add-on that would make me instead of
the
nutting
pocket pussy.
instead of nutting in 5 minutes, I'll nut in 3. Right?
What you call it? What's his name? Kevin
But I can
Hart.
still have sex with the girl at the
The
same
advocate
time
of
of
the
wearing
pocket
it
pussy.
and or using it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right? Now,
He's an advocate of the pocket pussy.
I let's say I use that often, okay? And then I try to have sex without it. Right?
There's a problem.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, that's been
No, but Rico's saying
I
even
said
in
that
moderation,
before.
why don't we remove the vibrator?
Every now and
No.
again. Yes. Just once in a while. Let's
I
not
don't
always
think
do
you
the
said
same
remove
thing.
it all the way.
No, I really am, because the thing is,
no.
it's like saying this. Okay,
That is
cool.
what he's saying.
If I pay you, let's say, Aaron, like, okay, Aaron, I love what you do. I'm gonna pay you $100,000 a month, right? But then the next month comes and I said I'm only gonna pay you $10,000. Then the following month I said I'm gonna pay you $100,000, right? Eventually, or if I do it in moderation and longer moderations, let's say 6 months. Every 6 months I randomly decide to pay you $100,000, right? Eventually, you're gonna get accustomed to receiving $100,000. But then if the next year comes, I say I'm only gonna pay you $5,000 a month. You're gonna be like, no way. This is too crazy. I'm too used to making $100,000 or $10,000. Now you done cut it out. And even though I still might say, well, I'm still gonna give you $100,000, but maybe once a year instead of 4 times a year.
like I understand the analogy that you're trying to make, but I think it all goes back to moderation, because we talked about this earlier. Your partner's not going to always be there. They're not going to always be in the mood. Sometimes you might just want to like have an orgasm so you can go to sleep, or sometimes you might just want to have an orgasm because it's on your mind and you can't get the monkey off your back.
I can't get the monkey off your back.
Hands are. I'm not opposed to masturbation.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is that I think there's, I mean, I don't know. So like, I guess some people maybe only use vibrators and some people only use hands, but I know that there are definitely people that use both. So I think that means that at some level things are in moderation. So
You just have to have the variety.
right. And I think that goes back to what you said, is like it can't be that one same thing all the time, because it will desensitize you the same way porn does or whatever, so
Yo, but I ain't gonna lie, porn is. I'm not a porn watcher like that, but
Are
porn
you?
is lit.
I was about to say, just
Nah.
starting.
Nah.
Porn is lit.
your line.
I'm not a porn watcher like
you know
that.
why
but
I
it's
don't
lit.
watch
After
porn like
looking through
that?
32
you know why I
pages
don't
of
watch
porn
porn
now.
like
I
that?
can tell you,
Some
girls
porn be crack.
masturbating.
Some of that porn be like porn it stimulates the fuck out of your brain.
Yeah, that's what it's
Porn
made
never
for.
really did that
Let
for me.
give you
What?
a whole
Like, I'm a-
conversation.
I was
Two
about to
girls
say,
on
though,
each other
I don't
trying
watch
to
porn
suck
like
the life
that.
out of
Yeah,
their
you do.
body.
Right. Let me explain. Let me break it down.
Hold on a second. Chris has a question. Chris, go ahead. What you was gonna say?
I was gonna say like
it's
It-
Chris's.
I was gonna say like I think it's moderation, just to kind of explain to Rico. like a cheat day, like when you're working out.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you gotta have that. You
Little
know
extra.
that feeling like bonchon. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you need that.
But you know what the problem is, Chris?
Here we
What's that?
go.
Ask me how many cheat days I done had now. So
It becomes a habit.
He loves
thank
him
you.
bonchon.
Thank you. I just, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Even
Rico was when Rico first started shooting, you bring a piece of pizza in front of him, don't insult at me.
Mm.
He's like, don't you get away. Like anything, burgers, pizza. Rico will look at you like you have 50 heads. Now you bring bonchon in front of him. He said, what a bonchon at?
that's the issue. There is no moderation when we're talking about longevity, because now it's just a different time frame of consistency.
Sure.
So whether you're doing a vibrator once a week or once a month, but you did it for 12 years, right? That's 144 months that you used it. You see, my math is impeccable. Now,
Okay, wait.
I mean, it should be.
How many days?
12 times 12.
well, it'd be 365 times 12. I don't know.
No, it'll be 144 months times 365.
Well, we could do 10. And that's
What?
3,600 days. 300,
No, it's 365 days in a year.
days.
So you would times that by 12.
But then let's
No,
even
it is.
let's
600
let's
days.
put this theory to the test using food. Like let's use the exact same theory. That's like saying if I had chicken once a month, that's the same as if I had it once a week, which is the same that if I had it every day. That it feels the same if I eat it every single day that if I have it once a month. That's a lie.
No, but that's actually not true, because you can't even compare, because, for example,
You can compare
you
it.
can't,
As
because
a
if
person
you don't,
who has a masturbation history, I could compare the idea that if I masturbate and watch porn every single day, it is not the same as if I do it once a month.
you cannot compare it to food, because even if hypothetically I do not eat chicken, right, and then I eat chicken one time at a month, some people will actually throw up. Some people will not digest that chicken, that red meat, the proper way. So you can't even compare it to food, is what I'm trying to say. So the analogy is off. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day,
This analogy is accurate, but
Yes.
the one I just made was
yeah,
wrong.
it was
To
off.
be clear on what he just said.
saying?
Wait on the analogy.
But the analogy of just using something. See, the thing is, like I said, again, moderation is like, all right, cool. Smoke weed one time a month, right? The likelihood and the odds that you're only gonna smoke weed one time a month when you like to smoke weed is far and few in between. So it's like, I'm not saying that. I'm not
You're
saying.
talking about impulse control.
And I'm saying that people lack it when it's something that pleasures them.
Yes.
That was my. And
Some people do, but not everybody.
I'm not
to
gonna
be
say
honest
some.
with
I
you.
would
Some
say a
people have
good
better
amount.
impulse control. Some people have worse. Like some people would try crack, and a lot of people would like it, but not everybody would become addicted, and that's the truth.
But crack is so much far extreme. Let's say
It's
liquor.
not. It's a good extreme because it's addictive. What I'm saying is that it's a guaranteed addictive
Masturbation
substance.
is addictive.
But it feels good. It's not like there's not like 17 different experiences with crack. It's not weed. It's not alcohol.
But crack
it's made
has
to
a
make you
shame.
feel good.
Yeah.
And so it's
Crack
like
has a whole different type of shame
sitting all
to
day
it.
in your house and masturbating ain't got no shame to it.
No,
Definitely does.
no,
That's a shameful ass story
nowhere,
right
nowhere
there.
near crack. If I say, yo, I masturbate every day, I'd be like, yo, I do crack every day. I'm like, what the
But-
fuck?
but
They're not even the same.
You do a bump of coke. Now what?
Right. Or if
Where are you
smoke
at? Are you in
weed.
LA? Because it's normal there.
don't do that.
But that's what
If
I'm
you're in New Jersey, it might be a little rocky.
But that's the thing
No
is
pun
that the
intended.
same thing is true with anybody. I prioritize multiple things in my life. So maybe I can go into a world where I'm prioritizing sex like that. But maybe some days, just like I don't want to have sex with my partner because I'm stressed, I don't want to masturbate because I'm stressed. It actually isn't just because of the other person.
I just want to lay here and go to sleep.
Right. Like some days I'm like, you know what? Even this vibrator ain't hitting it right. You know, and that's the truth. Like I don't know what them little guac 3,000 things feel like.
Me either.
Right. But if I allowed it to
Might
make
be
me
addicted.
right, you might be addicted. But if I allowed it to make me feel insecure about my vagina, it would mess up sex for me.
Nah,
That's why you shouldn't be thinking about people's vibrators. Don't let it mess up sex for you.
no,
Thinking
no,
about
that's
other
not the
people's
case. The-
pleasure.
I
that's-
think you
that's
guys
not
are
what I'm
going.
saying.
I think you guys are giving cautionary warnings to addiction. So it's sort of like if I'm sleeping with this girl and she's like, let's try this vibrator. And I try it and it was cool. She enjoyed it. I was like, all right, cool. You know, you came. All right, cool. Everything was good. The next day I'm trying to just get in there. And she's like, go get the vibrator. The next, go get the, go, like, I don't want to have sex with you. Have sex with yourself.
But then a lot of times when we're craving something that feels good, there's like extreme, like if we
That's
want to.
you?
No, that's not me.
Fucking liar. Yo,
Go ahead. I'm
well,
gonna
I
let
don't
you
have
finish
sexual
out because we
niggas,
gotta
so
close
go
out.
ahead.
I
Really?
think we had you
I
here.
don't.
you just lying?
That's okay.
Yo, man, to be
don't.
lying on camera. This is crazy.
I was gonna say,
Wow.
you
Well,
just
Bennett
gotta-
looked at me like,
We
Ellen,
have
that's
a
me.
super chat, guys.
Yeah, before we close out, we have a
Yeah.
super chat from Cammins Williams, and she says the body appreciates stimulations more when it's given in moderation.
There we go.
which is any stimulation. That's what I'm
That's
saying. Like
everything.
it's just natural. Like what you're gonna end up feeling is if you go to the extreme of any sensation a lot, it's almost like numbing, right? Like I can have really extreme experiences, but they're almost so extreme that I don't feel anything anymore. So
I don't know.
if I turn down the volume a little bit, like after a concert, my ears actually can't hear as well.
It's like
we
I'm-
adjust to what we're stimulated for.
That's like when, no offense to white people, but when I used to see them kiss each other in college, they'd just be kissing to kiss. I'd be like, there's no intimacy in kissing for them no more.
Just with white people?
I'm saying like my own personal life.
Like what was that?
I never see.
You want to say that again?
No, I get what you're saying. Like in the club.
club.
Yeah,
drunk,
yeah.
In the middle of the street.
They just be kissing like.
because it's so frequent because they
Yeah.
just making out with
Yeah, they
anybody.
just
I
kiss
relate. I see
everybody,
what you
like-
mean. I was like because their lips are small or because I wasn't sure what was happening.
No,
and the
I got
metaphor.
White people in
what you were
specific.
saying. I was like,
Aaron,
why?
This is crazy.
I'm looking at it
Culturally.
this way. I'm thinking about it this way in a relationship, and I'm trying to be
You know what I'm talking about? Bro?
from a different perspective, right? I'm in a relationship, and I was kind of vibing to have sex that night. We chilling, and you started talking shit, or I started talking shit. Man, fuck it, yo. I just go on Pornhub, or fucking I beat one out, and
All right, good night.
Man, fuck you. Good night too. Go to your vibrator.
You see, now it's a masturbation war.
I'm just saying, like, what are you, Alan? Like, really, what are you saying?
Alan.
I have more discipline. I'm not gonna go watch porn.
There's more discipline. I mean, you can as long as your partner
Right.
doesn't think it's cheating or something.
Yes, please.
There's people
Alan.
that think that that's cheating. Wait,
There are people who think it's cheating. I know
Masturbate?
people to watch porn when you have a partner, to
Really?
fantasize about other people. People have very
Wait, to watch
interesting-
porn?
Yeah, some people have that line where they feel like you shouldn't be looking at anybody but me.
Oh.
you know what's
It's not my
crazy?
personal line, but I've heard people have that line.
I never understood how some women will get mad if you like girls' pictures on Instagram, but say it's okay for you to watch porn and beat your dick. Like that's so weird.
No,
that's like
they're
so
not-
much
There's
more
not-
worse.
Hold on.
That's synonymous.
Come on.
I'm saying they're not synonymous. I'm saying one is worse. Like if
Which
I
one is worse?
the one that I'm gonna actually orgasm to versus the one I'm gonna just double tap and keep on scrolling.
No.
She know you can
Okay,
get the girl,
One is
Rico.
public
Negro.
and one is
Different.
private.
That's not.
That
that's
doesn't
not
even make
proven.
any
That's an
sense.
interesting point.
That's not proven. Like
That
you
doesn't
know,
make any sense because you don't know these porn stars from a hole in the wall.
I don't
except
know
that
her
you
either.
You don't know them from anywhere but the internet. But these
I only know her on the internet too. But
no, but this is an
Saying you
obtainable
can't
person.
DM the porn star.
yes,
Exactly.
I can.
You
They
can-
got their ats now down there. So what are we talking about?
And you don't think that there's a million other people trying to at and DM the porn stars?
You don't think there's
No.
a million other women?
First of all,
DM her.
This sounds like a personal problem that you should work out outside of.
No, listen, because
The
this is
show.
not my situation. Listen, I told you're gonna take one or two away from me. I mean, one of them away from you. You're not gonna take both. Like I'm either gonna be able to like shit or I'm gonna be able to do shit. Which one? If I can't do shit,
Oh,
just
they
let
were
me.
put in direct comparison like that?
I was just
That's
about
so
to
strange.
say.
Like,
So
just-
you
just
told
let me
your
like
girl,
shit.
I'm gonna be liking bitches' pictures on Instagram.
It almost makes me feel
Yeah.
more threatened than if you hadn't put them next to each other like that. Like
Yeah.
if you were like, I just like people's pictures because I like everybody's pictures, I'd be like, all right. But if you're like porn or liking pictures, I'd be
No,
like,
I didn't
No.
say
That's not what he
Yeah.
said.
No.
He told his girl either I'm gonna like the pictures
or I'm gonna do
or I'm gonna
stuff.
like the girls in real life.
Okay, seriously,
Yeah.
also maybe worse ultimatum. That makes me feel like you about to cheat
I was
on me.
about
if
to
you
say
can't
that's
double
not
tap.
even what I thought.
But what
he
I'm
was
saying is,
but
it's
if
a
that's
double
what he
tap.
was saying-
Like I'm not gonna sit here and look and like it to myself. Like I'm like, wow, I like it. You might as well see that I'm liking it too. Like I got no shame in my game because I like the photo.